May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. This is the last one for the year of 2024. I didn't make a big deal about it, like some announcement or whatever. Took last week off to, you know, just enjoy the holidays with my family and all. And I'm hoping that you did the same. But I did trade last week for sure. But I didn't give out any guidance last week. But this week, this is the last one. So, hey, why not a quick one? And I'm going to run through a bunch of them, but I'm going to run through them quickly. All right. Because you can see by the economic calendar for next week, just looking at it, uh, you can see that there's bank holidays galore. All right. We can have some trading on um, on Monday and Tuesday in the US. All right. But look who else is taking bank holidays: a New Zealand dollar, Aussie, Japanese yen, Monday and Tuesday. I mean, bank holiday for Japanese yen all week, right? but what I'm trying to say is everybody's taking bank holidays off. So this ain't a great week to be trading, especially going into the new year. All right. Uh, January 2nd and 3rd, yeah, you can get some things done or whatever, but, you know, it's not a whole lot. This is a week to enjoy. All right. To enjoy and on holiday and just be cool. All right. You don't need to be thirsty for trades. All right. Some people look for that Santa rally and all. I can understand that. Keep your eye out if you want to, but I would highly recommend just sitting back and relaxing. Now, this is the weekly on the S&P futures, and you can see how the week ended. Most of the charts that we're going to look at this the weekly candle for last week is a inside bar. All right. And it's because of the low volumes. Not a lot of people are trading. The big institutional players are not trading right now. You know what I mean? They're waiting. Those guys are taking profits and balance their books, and they're waiting until the new month opens up. Right. This is a time full of volatility. You just want to relax. But anyway, we have last week's candle. All right, it was a bullish one, but you can see that it pushed up higher and then pulled back. Can we expect higher prices? Yes, I do believe that we're going to fill this wick. All right, this coming week, and between this coming week and next week. All right, and so I am bullish in this asset. Right, there is this low resistance liquidity run up here. All right, there's low resistance liquidity. Price would this is a pretty good draw for price to come up and take. All right. I would have liked to have seen a break of this low here to signal that prices are bearish, but the only thing we got was a wick below, and then price immediately came back up. This tells me that there's more business to be taken care of up here. All right, so I'm looking for price to continue higher. You see how we made this wick here? All right, I'm looking. Should I be looking for that wick to be filled? All right, think of it this way. We closed beyond the low of the previous candle, so we expected another bearish candle to come, and uh, we push down, and then we retrace back to 50%. Yes, I'm looking for this wick to be filled, possibly to this low, to take the liquidity there and then continue higher. We could continue higher from here. I'm not sure, but I'd like to. I think we're going to see that low get taken, get this wick get filled, and then we're going to see price move up higher. All right, that's a lot to ask. A lot of movement for a holiday, right? The Nasdaq is pretty much identical. You can see how price flushed hard here on Wednesday before the holiday break, right? And then we didn't get any closes beyond this weekly uh, uh, fair value gap. It's a bullish one. So price pushed up higher, and then we can come back down. You see how price traded through this bullish fair value gap. This goes away, right? All right. Could we see price push up into the fair value gap that it could form here and then uh, take this low and then push up higher? Because I believe we're not getting past the 50% of these long wicks in the S&P and the Nasdaq. I think this low holds, and we'll see price push higher. So this becomes my uh, draw on liquidity, and we'll see if we get that as a target and maybe a new all-time high. But the Nasdaq may not get to that new all-time high, but the S&P may. All right, we have some low resistance liquidity that is not present on the Nasdaq. So I'd be happy to see it take this high and then continue down lower. The what do you call this? The Dow Jones. You see how bearish this was. Little tiny baby teeth bearish, right? But we did break structure to the downside. We traded through that swing low, and then we push back up into it, back up into the weekly fair value gap, and you see how it responded. So I'm looking for a price on the Dow by itself to fill this wick, and we might see lower prices here because we are now looking at uh, uh, relative equal lows. What did we do? We took out the external liquidity, boom, and then we went back into the internal liquidity, right? So we went XRL to XRL to IRL, sorry, and now we're going. I'm pretty sure we'll probably be targeting the XRL once again. We'll see. We'll see, because price could find this as a protected low and continue higher. We don't, we'll find out in a little while, right? Crude oil. I don't like this. I don't like when price just trades in such a narrow consolidation. We are consolidating, but what am I? I'm leaning towards bullishness. I don't want to take sells because we took out the external liquidity here, took out the external liquidity here, came up almost taking the relative equal highs, but we have relative equal highs that will draw price to it, and this becomes the next target after that. But we have to get past that first target first. I'm looking for fair value gaps. I'm looking for fair value gaps to develop to give us a sign of the uh, flow of orders, the order flow. All right. And if it's bullish, then I'll be looking for buys, but I'm looking for a breakout now. And I'm leaning towards buys, but we're going to let price tell us what it's going to do. Right. If we go to gold, gold is another one that's been funky, but you can see after this consolidation here, price pushed and took out that swing high. Right. Great. And then we flushed hard. Boom. All right. What did we do in the during this bearish leg of structure? This impulsive move. We created an area of supply. We also created areas of fair value gaps, so some bearish fair value gaps. Right. So, what did price do? Price came back, took out these external lows, these external liquidity points, and came back into the internal liquidity point. Right. And we have a bearish uh, an order block here, a bearish order block that's plain to see on the weekly. We don't need to go to the weekly to see it, but you see how price traded up into it. What am I looking for here? I was looking for price to uh, give me an what do you call it? I was going to call it an overlapping, uh, an engulfing pattern here, a bearish engulfer, but it didn't. It didn't give me that follow through to the bottom here. So price didn't close past that previous candle trade, the range low. So if it doesn't do that, it closes back. If it closes back within the range, I'm thinking the next candle is probably going to be bullish. That's why I have this target here. I think that we are going to take out the previous weekly high inside of supply and turn over and continue in a bearish way, because I think the U.S. dollar is going to be strong, going to gain some strength, start to show some strength this week and the following week. So I'm thinking that it's going to get dragged down, and that that's going to be a headwind for gold to go higher. So I'm thinking that we may see some consolidation, but I'm leaning more towards bearishness from these price levels. All right, silver, same deal. All right. You see how price traded up into the bearish fair value gap on the daily. All right. And you see this candle take that low with convincingly. Right. I'm looking for price to push back up, maybe test that low, and then come down. Yes, I have a target up here. I do have a target up here because it is a swing high. And I would normally like to see the swing highs get taken before it push down. I want to see uh, uh, a buy up before a push to the downside. You understand? And that will create an area of fair value. Okay. Now, this could represent it here, this buy up here, and then up into the bearish fair value gap, and we could see bearish uh, price action afterwards, and that very well might happen. We may not take that high, so but I am looking for bearish setups. But I want to take a pullback. I want to take a pullback. I don't want to just jump into a sell here. No, I want to see a pullback first. If it comes down and then it pulls back, that would suit me just fine. But I am looking for bearish setups. All right, I'm looking for sell setups. All right. If we go to the that was silver. This is a platinum. Platinum traded right through a very nice looking bullish fair value gap. All right. And you would think, price would have gone higher, came here, and then went higher. All right. No, that's not what happened. All right. Flushed right through it. All right. Creating what? Another area that could form a bearish fair value gap. All right. We'll see how the new candle, which just opened, we'll see how it figures, because it'll be the third candle. And once we get a third candle, then we'll have a great idea of where we're going with this. But what I'm envisioning is uh, these lows and this low, which is all the way over here. I'm envisioning those lows getting swept for liquidity. All right, because look how much intent is in that candle. The target will be the lows here and possibly this one. All right, so this candle that's forming now, I'm waiting for it to form like so, go up, and then turn into a wick and flip back down and come down and take this. So we'll see how the week goes. Okay, not going to be a whole lot of volume because of the holiday, right? In the U.S. anyway, New Year's. This is copper, and I like copper. You should really take a look at this. You see the high here and the low here. This is the range. This is that impulse. I'm looking for a price to correct this impulse up to the 50%. I got 50% there, right? Come on, man. Hey, man, what did I just do? Uh, that's not good. All right. So, uh, so I got to check my Wi-Fi. All right. So I'm looking for price to maybe come up into this area of supply here. Oh, sorry. This area of supply, and then come down and take out that swing low. That's why I have the target here. I am bearish in copper. All right. I think it's going to be a pretty good setup. I do believe that it will be a good setup. Okay. Let's see if I can get that right. All right. Now we're on the US dollar index. US dollar index. I am bullish on this one. Why do I have this Fibonacci thing set up? Because you see, I have it from the swing low here to the swing high here. Okay, I just messed that up, didn't I? All right. Swing low to swing high. All right. These are fractal. This is a fractal low, fractal high, and I'm looking for price to pull back into this area of demand. And uh, uh, there's a fair value gap here from the weekly, all right? But you can clearly see from here to here, price came back into the daily, didn't have that much of a rise, right? I'm looking for price to dip down below that low and come again for a push higher. So we'll see how that plays out next week. All right. Let's see. If we go to the Euro USD, I'm looking at Euro futures, but you're looking at Euro USD essentially because when you trade Euro on the spot, you're trading against the US dollar. Hence, you are trading Euro USD essentially. All right. So I have these relative equal lows here. All right. And here. These relative equal lows are going to be a nice draw on price. Like I said, I think that we're going to be bullish in the US dollar, so that we're probably going to be bearish in the Euro USD. All right. And there is an area of supply here. All right. From this high to that high in this price range, I would like to take shorts above the 50% of this range. Why? Because that's in premium and this is discount. So I'm looking for that discount. All right, I'm looking for a premium to discount move. All right, and that is this fair value gap. I mean, it's not a fair value gap. This is a area of demand, supply. It's an order block, and this order block, I'm looking with this liquidity to come and grab along the way. This is a nice looking bearish setup for me. I'm looking for a nice sell once it hits up here. All right, so I would put your what do you call it? The alerts. All right, put your alert on that, like so. All right, right click, add alert. All right, POI reached, and once it hits there, I'm looking for sell setups. I'm going to move that up a little bit though. All right, there you go. All right, so if we go to the pound, I'm looking at the pound, same kind of setup, right? There's a weekly fair value gap here, and price just pushed down. Come on, man, pushed down and reacted so nicely to that weekly fair value gap. Now I am looking at the fact that we made lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came back up into that area of supply. Uh, no, actually, yeah, it did with this wick here. Uh, and I'm looking for another push to the downside from there. That's what I'm looking for. So uh, that's why you see the arrow. And I'm looking for another play. I'm looking to see how it consolidated here. I'm looking for it to turn over and hit this low and continue lower. That's what I'm looking for. All right. And I'm skipping Aussie, New Zealand, and CAD, Canadian dollar. You can see in the Canadian dollar, US CAD, that I think it's going to go higher. Uh, we have towards those highs. We have a consolidation here, and I'm looking for price to uh, uh, break above or break below. But once it breaks below, I'm thinking it's going to sweep that low into this bullish fair value gap and then come up higher. All right, that's what I'm thinking. But I am bullish in this asset. Okay, and the last one will be USD Swiss. I think that's what I just did. I did the Swiss futures. All right, and did I? Did I do this? No, I didn't do Swiss futures. All right, I'm doing US dollar Swiss, but it's bullish, and I think it's going up. All right, look forward to sweep the Friday low. Looking forward to sweep the Friday low and catch that pullback, and let price uh, move up to take out these highs. Yeah, yeah, because I believe the US dollar is going to be strong. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the last of our forecasts. Check me out all of next week and beyond. Uh, check the comment section because I like to put some updates, and thank you for hanging with me for all of 2024. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you again. May profits be upon you.